Hey guys, Matt Science here, and today I am back for another solo episode of Anime vs. Reality. It's gonna be a weird duel for a while. But today, I'm gonna be hopping back into Charlotte for episodes 5 through to 9. Quick. So let's just. I just realized my camera is way off center. There we go. That's much better. Let's get into episode number 5, where our main character, the students, plus Yusa, Yusa's still being crammed by students to ask her questions about what she does in her free time and her radio show and other work. Meanwhile, 4 other students walk into the classroom and drag Now out of the classroom for some reason. And Jojiro is like, don't worry about it. But Yu follows the situation, like she follows Now and sees gets to witness Now getting beaten up by the tallest girl outside the school building, but he doesn't do anything to stop it for some reason. It's like it's actually a very good sign of growth for his character of like not intervening on her behalf almost. Anyway, after the beating, Now receives a message that the wet psychic will be appearing once again at the student council room. Yusa is obviously worried about Nao's injuries, and Misa wants to go beat up whoever beat Nao. Of course she does. As soon as the wet psychic reveals the ability is floating on air, or almost essential like flight, Now immediately mentions she knows who this person is due to a conspiracy article of all things. Now believes this person goes to the mountains to practice how to fly and wants to stake out the location until the person appears. Very smart. It's a smart move. As preparation for the stakeout, the team heads to the supermarket for food. And Now, being herself, grabs a lot of cord to make barbecue cord. But Yu's like, doing a barbecue will like create smoke and call attention to their presence at the mountain. And meanwhile, more stuff gets added to the trolley for the barbecue, including onions, mushrooms, and of course, meat. Yusa wonders if Now and Yu are dating, but Jojiro says it hasn't gone that far. Out of nowhere, Jojiro suddenly gets weird about being alone with Yusa, because you gotta remember, Yusa and Misa share the one body. But Yusa has the cutest little backup. She's like scared. It's like the little like steps back. It's hilarious to see that. Anyway, taking the taxi to the mountains. 4 characters take a hike up and set up camp, and the barbecue, they set up the barbecue grill to potentially stay the night. Now warns you at the last second about the remnants of a well, saying that if he fell it would have been fun. No, that's not humor. That is attempted. It's not really attempted murder, isn't it? It's more like just a pure accidental death. Yu calls Ayumi to tell her he's camping and won't be home, while Misa is used. She gets used as a damn lighter for the grill. It's like she's not happy that she's being used as a lighter for the grill. Weirdly, you is the only, like, health-conscious person of the group. It's like, yeah, he's fine with them eating meat, but it's like, everyone else, eat some vegetables. And he ends up being the only one eating vegetables. Yusa, during this barbecue, Yusa mentions her sister was also a finicky eater, like how Nao and Jujiro are only eating meat, and Yu takes the opportunity to learn more about Misa, who is the opposite of Yusa, but also cared about Yusa. Yeah. Like you would expect from an older sister. Anyways, later that night, Yusa and Jujiro are playing video games, like, but Misa is just like, aggressive gameplay mode activate. Yu searches for Nao, and he finds her chilling on top of a mountain. It's like listening to Zend. I'm gonna pronounce it Zend because the ZH sound is very confusing. So the end is my best pronunciation I have for it. Yeah, it's like her, like as we learned in the backstory, her brother loved this band, and Yu's like, can I have a listen? And listens to it, and is astonished immediately, and feels like he's felt it before. Weird. Apparently, the open field feeling is due to the vocalist being blind in both eyes, according to Nao's belief. Nao's goal is, with her video camera, is to film a Zen music video or documentary. Now decides to let you keep her music player since she has money saved up from these missions to find ability users. I don't know if it's exactly an iPod. I didn't do my research into that because that feels like very nitpicky and very much a waste of my time. Although I bet you there's someone out there that has done that. And I also did research on like other things that are coming up. But I do get nitpicky on that. Anyway, Yu has a dream from when he was younger. But he gets rudely awake by Jujiro, and right when he was about to learn about his, like, the memory of his older brother. Well, at least someone that he should recognize. And so it's like time for you to do the second shift of Night Watch. And the next day, now nothing really much happens during the night. And the next day, now manages to catch 2 rainbow trout, which during their fishing session to prepare for lunch. And it's just like, yeah, put it on the stick and it's good to go, sort of style. It's like, yeah, you're gonna remove the scales. Yusa brings up that she wants to take a bath, and now has a barrel of boiling water set up. Now says that you and Jujiro can't using, causing Jujiro to freak out over not being able to bask in Yusa's bath. Dude. Yusa's bath. Oh, who is that? What was the name of that OnlyFans girl? What was her name? And she had like the bath water. Like this anime was ahead of its time in the worst ways possible. While the 2 boys are wash off in the river, you notice how ripped Jujiro is, and Jujiro's just like, yeah, I sort of have to be because of my ability. And Jujiro also brings up that you may encounter his own personal challenge beyond his expectations. Anyone with abilities, like, we learned that anyone with abilities should expect them to be gone by the time they graduate high school, so it's not a permanent thing. The second night continues on, and Yu wants to return home to his younger sister, but now thinks everything will be done by tomorrow. Making more barbecue corn, another person shows up asking what they're doing all the way out in the mountains. Turns out the location the four have been camping on is private property. Whoops! And since the ability user has been practicing there, he could be arrested for trespassing, much like now and everyone else. The ability user got tired of waiting for them to leave, so he decided to try and just like, shoot, get out of here. This is my property. He denies he can fly, but gets caught in a lie about collecting chestnuts. Since it's not the season for them, since they grow best in September to October in Japan. And so begins my obsession with time. I go ham on the obsession down the line. He's finally lured in by now, mentioning she captured it on camera. It's like, yeah, give me the camera. Falling into the well, the ability user uses flight to get out of the holes. So now, sort of half baked that trap, or like the well, so that the ability user fell in it. And the ability user does steal Now's camera and launches way into the air, and Yu possesses his body to bring him back down. Unable to get away, the ability user is forced to listen to Now's usual spiel about trying to keep him safe from the scientists. The ability user wanted to use his ability to fly through the skies to get famous as a Hollywood star. And, oh, I wish I knew the name, but it was such a corny name. Anyway, so Yu is finally able to return home to Ayumi's annoyed face of like, you've been gone for 2 days. But for once, the food is not ready from pizza sauce because she ran out. The food is actually delicious because there's only a little bit of pizza sauce left, and she didn't want to use it. When you ask Ayumi if Ayumi can continue making sauce without the food without the pizza sauce, Ayumi gets defensive, saying it needs to be handed down to the very last generation. It's not like Ayumi is just starts coughing out of nowhere, getting you to focus on her well-being over the fact that pizza sauce won't be used. But she deflects her possible unwellness to mention she has so many stories she wants to tell you. As in the character. One of which was Ayumi being asked out, but she politely declined, knowing she wants someone better than you. You, again, the character's name is you. It's not... I'm not talking about real life people. I'm not talking about you guys at home. Ayumi... Turns out Ayumi does have a cold, and Yu's like, you gotta stay home. Like, go to bed after your bath. You're staying home tomorrow. Because in the next episode, we learn that Ayumi's temperature has risen to 38.5 degrees Celsius. But she's still worried about making Yu breakfast. Yu tells his sister to stay in bed and not worry about making food for school. In Ayumi's class, one student seems to be worried about Ayumi's cold, while another student looks upon with disdain. Anyway, gotta jump between storylines at this point, with the wet helper arriving once again to show the location of another student. surprising the student council, except now, no reason. Like you, Chijiro, and Yusa all get like scared by this guy coming through the door. That's come through the door many times. The next ability user has the ability Collapse. But the more shocking part is that this person is in the condo connected to the school. Now mentions that the target might be homesick from school, causing a reaction U. I suspect that Ayumi was highly likely to gain a special ability, so they decide to go visit her. Yu figures Yusa should go visit Ayumi since she's a fan of Yusa's music, but Jojiro might get in the way. Seeing that Yu was about to possess Jojiro, now distracts Jojiro by mentioning there's a giraffe outside. It's like, Jojiro's like, wait, there's a giraffe outside? And now it's just like, nah, there isn't. Kicks him out. Kicks him out the window. The fact that Jojiro survives that is hilarious. It looks like they all know something about usability though. That Yu does not even know. Anyways, so after school, Yu, Now, and Yusa go to the shops to buy get well gifts and porridge for Ayumi. Yusa wants to eat porridge with everyone because when she goes home, she's all alone, similar to Now. Now offers to pay for the groceries or putting out 3 jars of stewed enoki mushrooms. I'm a big fan of mushrooms, but still, that's a lot of mushrooms. Yusa also wants a big tin of cookies that alone cost 2,500 yen, or around 25 bucks. And you're just like, what? What's with the choice? And it comes with a bag. Getting back to Yu's room, Yusa decides to put on her disguise mask. Not really a good disguise because it's just a face mask and sunglasses, not even hiding the hair. It's like, Yusa, if you want a good design, if you want a good disguise, go watch Oshinoko for like the eyes disguise when she's out in town, because her disguise actually has a hat that hides her hair, at least decently, and sunglasses. Like, she tries her best to not look like she does. And that's only from the music I've seen for that. And if that's how far that character's willing to go, it's fairly obvious you could do that as well. Yeah, it's mostly just so Ayumi doesn't get too excited though. You also ask them to wait outside to prepare Ayumi for their entry. And when he heads inside, he notices that Ayumi has guests. Her guests are Nomura, the class representative. We got Aikawa, her friend who has a crush on Ayumi, and a purple-haired girl who looks at you with anger, which is the same girl from that was like looking with disdain. Now sadly, so yeah, like they leave, and it's like the weird like the purple girl gives him a weird look. And so like Yu's like, I brought some people over. Like it's like he's preparing her for them to come in. When Nell suddenly barges into Yumi's room, and Yumi assumes that now and you, and now Danny is like, I can't do the face that she does. It is so hilarious. And also, Yusrin just also walks in, And of course, Ayumi sees right through the disguise because hairstyle is like the most recognizable feature. Like, you see the hair tie and you know it's Yusa. Yeah, and Ayumi's just like, does the classic nosebleed. And then like, sits back up and like after Yusa's taken off her mask, it's like, you, sa, ri, I love that. I love when that's just like, like when it's not used as like a lusty thing. It's used for the humor of like, oh, I fainted because I met my fan. Anyway, recovering from the nosebleeds and like after getting her nose pinched and stuff like that by you, or was it now? I forget who pinched her nose. You says like, here's a tin of cookies, and now it's like giving Ayumi one of the jars of mushrooms, which Ayumi likes for some reason. And you mentions everyone will be eating porridge with Ayumi, making her happy. All the girls like the mushrooms and porridge. Well, you didn't exactly enjoy his meal. I honestly feel like I would buy porridge and mushrooms, because this is actually like, I have a friend that's actually Japanese, and he knew this one fact about Japan, or like related to like mushroom stuff, and that's after families have hot pot for dinner, some families actually add rice to turn it into porridge, and your hot pot can have these mushrooms in it, or like it can have like the weirdest ingredients ever in it, and you could and then you just add rice and turn it into a porridge, and it's like, huh. See, I just never would think of that. And that's just like, I gotta try hot pot. 2, I gotta try hot pot porridge. That's what I would call it. It's like a hot pot rice porridge. Anyway, so Yusa gets called away to work, which annoys Ayumi. But Yu reminds his sister that Yusa is a current idol. She has work. She has to go. Now gets frustrated at you for not washing the dishes from dinner, grabbing him by the shirt and saying he can at least dry the dishes after she washes them. And so it's like the two of them just standing there. It's like she's washing the dishes, he's drying them. And that just leaves Ayumi just to be sitting there. It's like how they are, like how now and you are a compatible couple. Like, they both respond in unison to Ayumi's statement saying that they're not compatible and stuff like that. Although, Ayumi, in all her attempts to counteract her perception skills of relationships, proves she can't tell when something is pre-recorded, like a music video. It's like, it's like, I get you're a little kid, but it's also like, it's just hilarious when it's like a 10-year-old or something like that. It's just like, oh yeah, no, an 11-year-old. That's right. An 11-year-old is like, I can tell how compatible of a relationship you two will have, but I can't tell if something's pre-recorded. Anyways, getting into bed, Ayumi says she's scared to fall asleep due to a scary dream she had earlier in the afternoon. Now asks what kind of dream it was, but Yu doesn't want to be reminding Ayumi of the nightmare because it might cause the nightmare to reoccur. Fair point. Now really wants to know what the nightmare was, asking you to ask Ayumi what it was. Sensing that this collapsibility is something dangerous, she also asks you to make Ayumi stay home, even if she gets better. So yeah, Yu returns inside and asks Ayumi about her dream. She mentions that she thinks the ground breaks and not much else. Bringing this up with the student council, but like Yu brings this up with the student council, but now still says there's not enough information to say that Ayumi is the ability user. It could be just a situation where Ayumi can sense an ability user without using an ability like a medium, which is bizarre to think about. Now needs to gather more information, so she asks you to keep Ayumi at home again. User mentions casting a spell for curing a cold, which is a Yushin's magic spell series number 21. I go into fanboy, you know. Ayumi manages to get over her fever, but you say she's still recovering, so she needs to stay one more day. No matter how excited for school she is. However, Ayumi is like, I'm going to school, and ignores you and sneaks off to the school, escaping the condo, out the bathroom window. It's like the best security on the building, and the bathroom window is how she escapes. That is some terrible security. Meanwhile, you and Jojiro ask about how moving forward, like how forward thinking and strong now is over lunch. Yeah. The two are called to the student council's office to learn that Ayumi is at school. Now decides they need to check Ayumi's condition ASAP. Over at Ayumi's school, Oikawa tries asking Ayumi to join him in going to a candy shop after school, or maybe the weekend to celebrate her getting better. It's like, dude, Ayumi's denying the dream. Take the hit, bro. Nomura steps in to save Ayumi from Oikawa, leaving Ayumi alone with purple-haired girl, Konishi. That's her name. Konishi, the yandere she is, hates that Ayumi has showed up and stole Oikawa's attention away from her. So she plans to... I don't think she plans to kill her, but like she plans to really make her hurt with a box cutter. Really showing that yanderes can be any age. Even little kids. Which is probably the most terrifying thing to think about. How her personality could be that developed that she could identify as a yandere. Ah. Ayumi's terror at being attacked causes her collapsibility to activate in the worst way possible. Bringing down an entire stairwell building. Like, she brings that sucker down! A person that showed up at the school got to the incident too late, seemingly knowing something was going to happen. Yu rushes into the rubble, trying to find Ayumi. When a pillar collapses on his head, it's like, bonk! It's like the anime another, except in this case Yu survives because it wasn't a big pillar. By the way, that mysterious character will be coming back around in the story. The White Helper also heads over to the collapsed building while it's raining, finding there to be blood at the incident. Uh-oh. Well, this, as I sort of spoiled, Yu is resting in the hospital after his accident with the rubble and asks about his sister, only to learn that she died in the building collapse. Yeah, Yu's like, in the days ago, it's like he goes to Ayumi's funeral, unable to say anything to anyone. It's only at home that he breaks down into tears over the loss of Ayumi and being unable to repay her for everything she did. And this episode is basically a used depression arc over this episode and the next one. Because Yu continues to fall apart, not sleeping in his bed and not eating well due to his lack of cooking skills. Finding the box of packaged ramen again, he just chows through them all. It's just ramen all day, every day. Yusa and Jojiro come around to Yu's place to make sure he's doing alright, bring some cream stew for him to eat, but Yu just doesn't want it. Misa wants Jojiro to break down Yu's door, but Jojiro can't due to them being reinforced because, well, of people like him. Not really the safest situation. The next day, we got Yumi showing up, which is weird because it's very close to Ayumi. But yeah, Yumi from like the first, or the second episode, or is it the first episode? Like the first 2 episodes. Like our first section. She's entered Yu's apartment to talk to Yu about helping him, but he cuts her off with nothing. You can't do anything for me, saying he doesn't need help. Yumi offers to take Yu to eat pancakes, but he even refuses that, talking about their nutrition values. Like, dude, yeah, it's like the girl you liked wants to take you out for the pancakes you liked, and you could just sit there and just like, are they nutritious? Like, bro, it's pancakes. Like, you don't even need to have the syrup. Just do the pancakes. And Yumi gets angry with you not wanting to go outside and wanting her to run an errand for him. She then mentions that people who stay inside all the time are mentally ill. Whoops. Wrong words to use there, because that sets you off to kick Yu's ramen cups in Yumi's face. I could go and say a Yumi, because it's so similar. And Yu finally has to go stock up on more ramen noodles when there's a knock at his door. To deal with the 3 people at the door, he possesses one guard to punch the other, and then jump off the balcony, then just walks out. He's just like, I'm going to get some food. And Yu decides to take the train away from the school, go into a 24-hour internet and comic cafe, and while there, Yu watches Angel Beats and eats pizza. Which, for anyone that watches anime, it means that Angel Beats as an anime and the company behind it exists in the Charlotte universe. That's what that means. Also, I can tell you exactly how long Yu has been at that internet cafe. If it's the only anime he's watched, because he's at episode 12 of Angel Beats. And like, if he's a true watcher of anime, if he watches the opening and credits of every episode, he has been at the internet cafe for exactly 4 hours, 39 minutes, and 38 seconds. Obviously, ignoring the time that it would take to select Angel Beats in the first place. Although I feel like in that situation, it might be just a quick select situation for him, because he probably won't care. Anyway, so Yu decides to leave the internet cafe for the outside world. Decides to get some fried mitarashi dango. Seeing some other students playing a shooter game, he decides to play for himself, and immediately he's obsessed with it, spending all his money and losing his mind just gunning down these fake zombies. the other students, like the other students play it for an entire day when you wants to play it, and Yu's annoyed and kicking his discarded dingo sticks at them. And obviously, thinking it's an easy 3-on-1, they drag Yu into an alley where Yu uses his ability to make the three of them fight each other before stabbing the blonde guy in the leg with 2 dango sticks. Oh, that's so... Oh, dango sticks. Worse than a splinter, I would say. Ugh. Walking away, Yu is confronted by a larger gang, only to make them punch and stab each other, then proceeds to threaten to stab the leader, Hosoyamada, in the eye with a dango stick. He's holding it close. It's like you want to be known as one-eyed Hosoyamada. Like, even gangs just try attacking you to no avail, turning you into a dangerous mental case using violence as a way of entertainment. You even manages to score some... I'm pretty sure it's weed because he's like doing the whole roll the cigarette and it's like about to do like the lick to seal it up to be able to smoke it. When now, out of nowhere, kicks it out of his hair because her invisibility. She was with him the entire time. It's like from the moment he before he even decided to run off, she was with him. It's like, I love that this anime is like our main character's about to get into the R18 stuff. Like, the MA15 plus stuff. Or, would it be R18 plus stuff? Would drugs be considered MA15 plus or R18 plus? Because I'm pretty sure drugs, like drug use, has appeared in MA15 plus movies. That's actually interesting to think about. But yeah, Nao's been following him the entire time he ran off, and she blames herself for not taking enough precautions to keep Ayumi safe. That's why she was following you, because she wanted to help him get better and not end up crippled for the rest of his life, when his ability disappears and he just absolutely gets wrecked. You ask what he should do, to which Nao answers to just have a proper meal. And so they head to Jojiro's family home. Now makes Yu the same almond rice Ayumi used to make while he watches the Mansai show on TV. Fun fact about the about Mansai performances. A Mansai performance consists of 2 people doing an act. You got like the one that does all the jokes and the puns, while the other person is basically the everyman, the one that's like not reacting to the crazy stuff happening around him from the other guy. And now, to reveal my insanity, or just a taste of my insanity. Because in the background, when Nao brings over the omurice, there's a calendar. It starts on a Monday and ends on a Tuesday. And for all assumptions of what I'm doing here, I assume that this anime is released in the year, the release year, it's set in the release year of 2015. And if, the family, Jojiro's family do live in the house on a regular basis as well, that this episode is most likely set at some point in June 2015. later research is going to prove this wrong, and this whole thing is going to get compounded ridiculously. But yeah, so, but let's get back to the episode where now assumes Ayumi found this recipe and was trying to recreate the taste for you for a long time, and Hugh's just like unable to stop eating this food that he doesn't like, but it's just like, it's so good. And you ask what he should do now, since they'll be going their own ways. But now it gets about the technicality, since he ate the entire omurice and gets him returned to the student council. It's like, oh, fine. I lose. I'll return. Moving on to episode 8, and you seems to be doing a lot better rather quickly, as he sets off for another day of school. At school, Jujiro and Yusa welcome you back, much to the chagrin of the other male students in the classroom. Like, all of them are just so, like, what are you doing back, mate? It's like, why do you have all the attention from a favourite girl? Anyway, Yusa performs her Yusa magic spell series number 1, the magic spell of being alright. And all the boys in the class just have an orgasm all at once. It's like, it is, it is weird when you see a bunch of anime boys just be like, basically like, ah, and like celebrate the fact that she did it. Hiro is content with all the annoying cheerfulness and thinks he can get back to normal life. Jujiro does his classic rush to the cafeteria to grab himself and use a curry lunch. Basically like the road runner, but unable to stop. You recognizes Jujiro is being considerate and indulges Jujiro by enjoying the lunch. Now summons him to the student council just to watch Yusa's music video before anything else, sending Jujiro into a frenzy. Now I actually thought the music video was good, but Dr. Yusa points for calling herself Yusarin. Fair point. Turns out now summon them all to help with what to do with two concert tickets. Yusa, Jujiro, and even Misa unanimously nominate you to go to the concert. The character you, not you. After school, you is passed by a blind lady with fuchsia coloured hair. I actually had to look up what the colour hair was because I wanted to have some accuracy. And he experiences a flash of the feeling that he experienced when listening to Zen. Talking to her, she suddenly goes on about Modonyaki, aka Modonyaki, which is yokosoba noodles sandwiched in okonomiyaki, which is a savory cabbage pancake. Which actually had a mention back, I think all the way back in Fruits Basket, actually, weirdly enough. I know I've mentioned okonomiyaki in a previous episode, or like a previous anime episodes. At an okonomiyaki restaurant, the blind lady reveals herself to be the vocalist for Zen, Sala Shane. To the shock of their server, like this absolute like rock guy with like purple, like a pink streak in his hair and like purple hair, and like Sala like noticed. It's like Sala's like notes the pancake part of this not really modernaki. I forget what it's called, but she still enjoys the food. So suddenly asks you if something bad happened recently, and telling from how he breathes and the sound of his voice, and if you can tell her about it. Yu mentions his little sister was the person he lost recently, and Sarah asks if she can light some incense for her, but she uses smoke instead of incense. And you ask Sarah for a favor to see now, mentioning her brother is a big fan of Zen, although he doesn't mention it's her brother. It's like he's a bit vague on the details, but we know exactly what's going on. Now isn't surprised that Yu is currently with Sala, and even asks why he wants her to beat Sala. Sala is not upset with now being far away, saying that what's important to you is just as important to her. So Yu's like, we gotta go somewhere, and they take the train, and Sala's like announces that she's hungry again. So they go to a standing sober place to enjoy a croquette. Croquette? Croquette? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Croquette. This is so... Oh, I would love to do this on Twitch, but it's not a good medium. You asked if Sarah is completely blind, to which she answers, like, she wasn't born blind. But, like, since she can do, like, signatures and stuff like that. But she does, like, her blindness came as repentance and atonement for her sins. Not the one thing that makes total sense. Sala's first dream was of being a frontman for a band, but she couldn't sing or play a guitar to save her own life, and so she cheated for greed. At one point, Sala was popular in Japan, but being in that spotlight put her family in danger. Like, even her little brother getting kidnapped for ransom. It's like, this is a thing that happens in Japan? And, like, they're climbing up the stairs to Nao's brother's hospital, and so I was able to nail down that Yu was not so nice in the past, and has met good people. And, like, you're just like, yeah, I did meet Nao, so that, Tamori, so that did, so she's right. Heading into Nao's brother's room, Sala is, like, hardly fazed by what she senses from Nao's brother. Just, like, learning that the situation is heavier than she expected. That's all she says about it. And, like you tells her, oh yeah, he's supposedly composing, like, the grunts are, like, he doesn't mention, like, the whole grunt thing. But, like, Sala, as brave as she is for being blind as well, approaches Nao's brother to sing her song, Falling. Which I will definitely put this song for, I put it in the description of the last podcast episode, because I, like, the band's end is so cool. Like, the music is so good. There's only, like, 4 songs used in the anime, and yet there's another, like, 8 that they put out for Zen, along with, like, an English version and a Japanese version, because the original, like, the singer here in the anime is English. And at this point, we finally learn the old, like, Nao's brother's name is Kazuki. Not like the car brand Suzuki, like Kazuki. And he stops tearing up his shoes on, surprising you, who ask Kazuki if he can recognize him, and if he remembers now. Sala is happy that Yu is happy with the result of Sala singing to Kazuki, because basically Kazuki just becomes like, it's like a taming of a wild animal almost. He just stops. Yu mentions he'll be at a concert tomorrow, to which Sala responds that she'll keep him in mind while performing. At the end of the episode, like after getting a whole earful and literally getting dragged off by security, she's gone to prepare for her concert. Now it's thankful to Yu for helping Kazuki improve in being able to recognize her. For some reason, Zen's music feels so nostalgic to Yu. It's like he's heard it before. But it's his first time hearing it, so that shouldn't be the case. In any case, Yu prepares for the concert by trying on different outfits. Annoyed that he's being indecisive about it. It's like, why am I being so indecisive about this? It's a concert. You will now arrive early to the show, so now you can buy the popular merchandise of a smartphone case. It's like, shocker. Now wonders if Yu wants to buy, but the moment he mentions they would have a matching set, she tells him not to buy one. She even drags Yu along to the line for the smartphone case. And no tear, everybody, if you again, date stuff comes up. The Zen concert is on July 20th. And if the year is 2015, based on the calendar from Jojiro's house, this concert falls on a Monday. However, this is an interesting fact. School holidays does start on July 20th, but also Hoshinomi Academy has school on the Sunday then, because the previous episode had them at the school in school uniform and everything, which does not work. And looking at the logo for Zen, it has a moment of something. It's like weird something happening before now snaps them out of it. And now it gets to the front guys and shows it off to you. It's excited to have it. It's very much relationship stuff. And they head into the stadium to take their seats. And now enjoys the show while Yu takes interest. It's not really an interest, it's almost like he's heard these songs before. It's that sort of face. And it's the lyrics of Blood Color. Then the show continues on, crossfading into first four of Scar on Face, and then hard cutting into the outro of Adore. My favorite song is Adore. It is such a good song. I would put it in the description, but I'm putting the songs that are important to the story in the description for this one, because I'm having a bit of fun with putting stuff in the description. You seemingly Sala's we're gonna have a world premiere of a new song exclusive to in Japan called Trigger, and you somehow remembers this song. He seemingly remembers this song, even though it should be Yu's first time hearing it, and rather appropriately triggers Yu to remember things about the past after he collapses. So Yu gets thrown into the past, but also he's listening to some trigger at this point of time, so it's almost like the present / future. which is weird. And you and Ayumi, well, you are listening to Trigger for the first time, because so you seem to be a big fan of Zen, while Ayumi is still a fan of Haru Haru. Dinner time is called for D Block, but before you leaves the computer lab, an old man tells you about how classical music is like a mathematical formula. The researcher brings up telematic theory, where Ptolemy believed that Earth was the center of the universe, saying it's an extraordinary theory in today's standards, but was normal thinking back then. I think that's how you would pronounce his name. I'm not entirely sure. It's like got that PT start, sort of like with pterodactyl. So I would just roll with that. Anyways, Ayumi is excited that dinner is curry, but you says there's probably chemicals to boost abilities in it, and it'll probably taste like medicine. Ayumi also wishes their big brother Shinsuke could be with them, but you shoot it down, saying Shinsuke's ability of time leap is too protrusive for it to happen, and obviously when Ayumi gets excited about the fact that their brother, their big brother, has the ability time leap, is you have to be like, cover her mouth. Anyway, so you understand his true ability beyond just possessing someone for 5 seconds. And if the researchers knew, he would also be imprisoned. Another subject sits behind you, and it's Ayumi, aka the Wet Helper. Oh, no, it's Kumagami. I don't know why I said Ayumi. It's Kumagami, the Wet Helper. And he's found someone with the ability telepathy. Kumagami tells you to possess someone with the ability to pulverize that Kumagami brought with him, and giving you a paper with the location of the telepathy user. Kumagami tells you to go after them at the right time. Meanwhile, over in a separate room, we got Shishino, an unnamed male character, and an unnamed female character. It's the same female character that appeared in episode 6, by the way. Eat dinner and talk about their current plan involving you and the telepathy user. Kumagami is suddenly taken away by one of the guards due to how amazing his ability is. Better than Yu's, but not as good as Shinsuke's. After the MRI test, Ayumi and Yu get separated, and Yu wakes up from being tasered to an earthquake, causing a lockdown in D Block. And Yu's obviously gonna have some panic, but more for the fact that it's Ayumi. But yeah, some time passes until the old researcher opens Yu's room and reveals that Ayumi's collapsibility is why D Block experienced a lockdown. Ayumi has been restrained and will be discarded after they dissect her to learn about her ability. The researcher reveals he knows Yu's true ability, Plunder, calling it the most powerful of abilities. Yu uses his Plunder ability to steal the telepathy ability from its user. Although, the way he goes about it is hilarious. It's like, I need to look him in the face. It's like, and the telepathy user is so dumb. It's like, what do you mean? What about my face? And looks up and just gets absolutely gets his ability stolen. And that telepathy user is probably just like, I can think again! Because the telepathy is just it's like an auto run function. A guard almost shoots you, but gets stopped by the mysterious female's ability. Running through D Block's halls, Yu uses telepathy to track down Shunsuke's location. The facility turns out the lights and starts smoking the halls to make anyone outside their rooms faint. Shishino uses his permeation ability to pass through a wall in front of you, and then it's like, possess me, and take my ability. Right before the two of them get rained down upon by a hail of bullets, Shishino shoves you through the wall to safety, and just gets like, you get shot full of bullets. Reaching Shinsuke's room, Yu blasts away his brother's restraints, allowing him to remove his mask and rewind time to create a new future. Wake up in the hospital, back in the quote-unquote present. Surprise, and like, it's like, ah, ah! And I was like, ah! Absolutely getting scared. And like, she's like, did you have a bad dream? Is that why you're scaring the out of me? Yu realizes it wasn't a dream when he remembers Ayumi had said that she felt like they had an older brother. And that's when Kumagami enters the room. Happy to see that Yu remembers everything. He wants you to follow him to the answers of Yu's questions and the way to save Ayumi. Turns out now knows, like, they go through the whole... Oh no, it's before they leave. But yeah, it turns out that now knows Shinsuke, and like, because it was the one person she could trust. But she did not know that was Yu's little brother. It's like, how? Well, actually, yeah, sort of makes sense that it's like she didn't know that Yu was Shinsuke's little brother, because Shinsuke probably didn't talk about being the older brother, like having any siblings. It's like, hide your past to protect them in the future, sort of situation. Driving out, but yeah, they drive out into the woods, and now Yu and Kumagami walk to Shinsuke's location, hidden inside a mountain, like, and now it's like, you record? No. Like, Kumagami's like, no, basically. The path takes the three to an elevator down to the bottom floor and into a room where Shinsuke is waiting. Seems Yu does not remember one last thing. What happened after the time leap? Because there is a lot to cover. But this is actually like the perfect spot to end this whole thing on. Well, I got notes for episodes 10 through 12. I want to go and do episode 13. But I gotta do some editing. I gotta edit this video, I gotta edit some other videos. But links will be in the description to both the channels, and also my Twitch. Go check out my Twitch on the Sunday coming up. Although this is being recorded before my second ever subreddit. No, not subreddit. Twitch stream. Sidecrafter is the Twitch channel, by the way, or the Twitch channel. I'll also be including a link to the song Trigger, because that is important to episode 9, and I'm trying to have like one Zen song per episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. Ding! Ding! I'm Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.